Is it the right one? Oh yes, it's the right one. Oh yes. Is it the perfect one? Oh yes, it's the perfect one. Oh yes. Is it the people's choice? Oh yes, it's our choice. Oh yes. Master in economics, PhD holder. Oh yes. Master in economics, international local. Amen, amen, amen. Soludo, kind Soludo. Is it the right one? Oh yes, it's the right one. Oh yes. Is it the perfect one? Oh yes, it's the perfect one. Oh yes. Is it the people's choice? Oh yes, it's our choice. Oh yes. Master in economics, PhD holder, international.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Soludo TV Live. My name is Prince Anthony Eri, and we are live at Akpu N'Orumba South local government area of Anambra State. It's a bright and beautiful weather over here. And with me in our midst here is a very powerful, influential, and major APGA stakeholder. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
Sir, can you give more details about yourself to the audience?
Well, my name is Dr. Ben Nwankwo Isingidi Akpu N'Orumba. I was a member of the 5th, 7th, and 8th National Assembly. I represented Orumba North and Orumba South Federal Constituency, and also a member of Board of Trustees of the All Grand Progressive Alliance.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, you seem to have been a long-term associate and a friend to Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, and they've done one or two things with him. So can you tell the viewers some of the things that I've done with Prof Chukwuma Soludo?
Well, Professor Soludo is an international brand and does not need any form of explanation or interpretation. He's a consummate, erudite professor of economics and development-oriented for that purpose, and with a global mindset. He's been consistent in character, very humane, diligent, and one of the gifted Nigerians, or one of the gifted Africans in terms of intellectual capacity. His pedigree is of note across the globe, and I have associated with him in so many ways, in so many areas, and I found him a gentleman who is very honest, a gentleman that is very creative and open-minded in all forms. I'm only to say that I'm proud of him to have come from Anambra State. I'm proud of him as an Igbo man, that he is of the Igbo race. And I'm proud of him as an African. At any point in time you see him in international arena, he is usually distinguished, and you'll come to realize why I say that I'm proud of him to be of an African descent, because this is somebody who teaches both the blacks, the whites, and all races. In the areas that he is so professional, and he is a specialist in those fields, you hardly will find any better hand in those areas. And Professor Soludo is not just development oriented, but he's a transformational leader. He wants to recreate, he wants to create and recreate. His vision is usually transformational in nature. He is a very good dreamer. He dreams big, very thoughtful leader. He's a thoughtful leader, servant leader as well as somebody who is, despite all his gifts, despite all he has, despite all he knows, he is humble to a fault. That's the man that I see in Professor Charles Soludo.
Right, Honorable. You have given a detailed explanation about Prof Charles Chukwuma Soludo, and you have told us about some qualities and abilities that he possesses, which you strongly believe he does. Sir, if these things are being applied to Anambra State leadership, if he can turn this around, can you believe, do you see he has that capacity to turn things around in Anambra State?
Well, first and foremost, I'll tell you that a leader has a time certain that he will perform at his best. First, I will pay tribute to our governor, His Excellency, Chief Dr. Udi Obiano. This is a man who promised Anambra people that his finishing will be stronger than his takeoff.
True.
That's number one promise, and he's living up to that expectation. Two, in the succession plan, that he's going to bring on board somebody who is going to be better than him. That's humility typified and exemplified. That's exemplary leadership. The succession plan he is putting in place for Anambra State is going to be second to none, because he has laid foundation for peace and progress. He has laid solid foundation for Anambra State to take off on a transformational scale, development in multi-dimensions, gargantuan in nature. And everybody now eyeing Professor Chukwuma Soludo is true to type and is in tandem with the dream that the governor has for the people. And bringing in Chukwuma Soludo at this point in time is the best that will happen in Anambra State.
That's right.
Because one, when he comes on board, he will go into, he will be leveraging on the foundation the governor has laid. His takeoff is going to be smooth because the foundation has been laid, and he will go into wealth creation, job creation, transformation in different areas, in different sectors of the economy of the state. And now that you ask yourself, are we not tired of feeding bottle states that we have in Nigeria? People rushing to Abuja to go and collect allocation and coming back and begin to share in piecemeals. This is somebody that I am sure that by the time he's done his first 1 year to 2 years in office, the IGR should be able to compete with the allocation we're getting from Abuja. That is to say that you can confidently and conveniently run Anambra State with internally generated revenue. And of course, you cannot get IGR. IGR is almost commensurate or reciprocally the same with the wealth that you have built. Because the IGR is money you are getting from the people. Yes. If there's no wealth, there will be no good IGR. So I trust him in terms of wealth creation, job creation, and having to diversify the economy of the state, being articulate and visionary in nature. That he will put in place a leadership that will focus the state in terms of multiple wealth creation and job creation and transformation. There's no two ways about it. That's the angle that I'm looking at him from.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Sir, you joined APGA from another party and contested for House of Reps for N'Orumba North and South.
Correct.
Having not won the election, we want to know why you remained in APGA, supported your opponent till victory, and have been working for the party till now.
You see, everything about politics is all about discipline, culture, principle. I joined APGA not from the dining table. I joined them from the battlefield during the governorship election of the governor now serving. And I was a sitting member of the House of Representatives. At that point in time, I was convinced that the best thing to do by me is to champion the political objective of the people I'm representing. And their yearning, if you aggregate their yearning aspiration, is pointing towards APGA. And we all believe that time, and to date we are much more even convinced more that APGA is a platform for the Igbo man to articulate his political objective, his vision, and be sure that they are emancipated politically, economically, and otherwise. And having said that, I didn't have any choice than to obey the political will of my people by joining APGA. And I willfully, unconditionally joined APGA. And inside APGA, I found men and women who are gentle in nature, who are also disciplined as well, working assiduously for the growth of the party, and as well as articulating vision that will power governance of the people. So in them, I found them. It was a comfort zone for me. I found them birds of same feathers. I found them also not to be, I didn't see too much of acrimony, I didn't see too much of aggrandizement, that I had seen in the past in some other political parties that I wouldn't want to mention. So having joined them in the past 3 years, we've been growing the party, we have been articulating the vision for our people, we have been working for the political and economic progress of our people, and we have been championing their cause on the platform of APGA. Now that we are about to face another election, what is best for our people is for the Igbo man to realize that you have no window, no other window better, stronger, more visible to vent your political, I wouldn't say anger, but your agitations than much more than APGA. APGA is the platform. APGA is the window, clear window, visible window that we can vent our political agitations and economic realizations and social emancipation. So for me, I remain very strongly and solidly behind the leadership of APGA, behind the governor, and behind our people, to be able to connect our people to the opportunities that the future will donate.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, with your experience in the political field, I would like you to advise the present crop of APGA gubernatorial aspirants who were recently disqualified.
You see, politics is give and take, and it's also all about capacity. Our people should not see politics as a place for self-actualization and aggrandizement. It is called political competition, all right, but there is nothing wrong when you see somebody who is better than you, more strategically positioned than yourself, you give way. I'll give you an example. I will say this to all intents and purposes and without fear of any form of contradiction. Charles Soludo is the best that there is.
Yes.
And I, as a person, had, mark my word, had governorship ambition. I had prepared for this since 1991, when I was made PA to Governor Ezife, when I was 25 years old. From PA to governor, I was made advisor to governor. And in my middle 30s, I was commissioner for special duties. From commissioner for special duties to commissioner for works and transport. From works and transport to commissioner for finance and budget. From finance and budget to commissioner for housing and urban development. Before I now attended the 5th, the 7th and 8th National Assembly. So, and I studied in social sciences, predominantly in public policy and governance. So I had been prepared to run the governorship race for Anambra State. But I gave way to Charles Soludo unconditionally, because I know that in him, the state will benefit much more than they would under my own stewardship. Therefore, my advice to these persons that have been disqualified is that they should, you stoop to conquer. There is strength in humility. It's not about bravado or ego, but it is about our people. It is about our future. The trump card, the best card we have today is Charles Soludo, to all intents and purposes. And I would advise that they shoot their sword and then join forces with the party, join forces with the governor, and then queue behind Charles Soludo so that we can move forward better together. In him, we are going to find a new future for our state, a stronger destination we're going to reach. We will navigate through the contours of the environment we have found ourselves to a better future for our people, for our children, and our children's children. So, as a member of Board of Trustees of the party, I would advise them that they should cool off and then somehow lower their political ego and go for some other thing. Everybody wouldn't be governor. There's only one governor we are looking for, and we have found one. We're actually not looking for any other. And if in time to come, they still have time. Soludo is going to be governor for, by his grace, only for 8 years. Some other time they can contest. I have not given up. Maybe as they have time, but right now the best bet that we have is Soludo. And I would advise that they should settle down. I don't want to say step down. They should settle down to what they have been doing and look for some other thing other than contesting for the governorship with Soludo.
Wow, sir, thank you very much for that clarification. And sir, what message do you have for APGA delegates from your constituency ahead of June 23rd, APGA gubernatorial primaries, which is less than 5 days from now?
My message to delegates from Orumba North and Orumba South, and by extension, delegates from all corners of Anambra State, the 326 wards in Anambra State. Shakespeare said that there is tide in the affairs of men. Inversely, men also sometimes are masters of their fate. Right now, we have the opportunity to make it better. We need to reconstruct the political system. It mustn't be all about bickering every time. Let us set an example that others would emulate. Let us, for the first time, come together, elect a governorship candidate. Let us honor the governor of Anambra State, who is pointing to us the direction to go, because leadership behoves on him to show us the direction. Let us bring a candidate of the future. Let us bring a candidate that every Anambra man will be proud of. Let us bring a candidate that when you get to Abuja, you would beat your hand on your chest and say, this is my governor. Let us bring a candidate that after 4 years in office or 8 years in office, you would have said, I am happy, I am proud. It is my party, APGA, that has elected this person as governor. That person is Charles Soludo. There is no better person in the race than him. He is the best that there is. Therefore, let us put all the votes unanimously in one basket and hand over to him, so that collectively we would have made the leadership that is coming. It's a new kind of leadership, a leadership that is founded on the threshold of Obiano's performance, that will accelerate and move further, higher altitude, so that our people will connect to greater opportunities. That's my message.
Well, very powerful message indeed. Very powerful. Sir, last question. You have followed Prof Charles Soludo to most of the local government consultation tours, yes, and begging and pleading for delegates to vote for him, with massive crowds witnessed so far. Sir, can you say Prof Shalimwa Abafo is poised for victory come November 6th, 2021?
There is nothing that is like nothing that is like an idea whose time has come. As God will have it, I followed Soludo in 2009-2010 election under PDP. I was with him throughout. And I'm happy that even today, I'm still with him even more. More than ever, more than anything, I'm convinced that he's going to make it. I move with him, and I have been moving with him, we still move with him around. This is the first time I'm seeing a kind of political participation and ownership that is manifesting in form of support groups in various dimensions and forms, including the Soludo television. It's a volunteer political action.
Yes.
It has never happened. People are coming to take ownership of what belongs to them. So they are sowing, they are investing. It's political investment. And reciprocally is touching up on Soludo in terms of the fact that he has no choice than to deliver the best governance ever that is tenable. Because all people are coming together to say, oh, we support you, move on our behalf. People are bringing 10 naira, 50 naira, 100,000, 500,000, and so on and so forth. Starting from the foundation of this course up until this moment. So I see him not only going to cruise home with victory, but I'm seeing some kind of consensus across all political diversities in his election. That's my prediction. And I'm sure that the signs are obvious that even the blind can see that in him a governor is found.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable.
Thank you very much
for hosting us.
Thank you very much.
To our viewers, thank you for staying tuned with us. You can follow us on all our social media handles on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitter at Soludo TV. And please also visit our website on www.soludo.tv. Thank you and God bless you.
Is it the right one? Oh yes, it's the right one. Oh yes. Is it the perfect one?